So let's move on to what we want to do in 2021.
Shit, because that's all that matters is
That's
what we
all
want to do.
screw the listeners, like your opinions, they're great and all, but this is our show and we want to talk about stuff.
Just kidding. We
We're just
love your
kidding.
input. Yes,
Yes,
do more. We love it.
yes, your trip sounded amazing actually, and I kind of want to change all my answers to be honest now. But so before we jump into it though, I want to like go in with like a precaution. So I think with COVID, like some people are comfortable, like some people in 2020, man, they were every park across the nation just moving and park after park. That's just not what I can do. So my wife works with little ones. She has a classroom full of little children that she's in charge of. And if somebody gets COVID in that classroom, it is a mess to try to cover that. And, we just got to mitigate that. I work with people with disabilities, and we just had to be extra careful. So in my mind, when I'm planning my trips, I'm thinking my wife and I get stuck with 2 needles and like we're good to start traveling again. And COVID is on the decline. So I don't see that happening until maybe late summer, fall, winter, that sort of thing. So that's kind of where I'm going to base my answers from.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to hear like what do you, theme park stud, like what is on your high up there, we need to go do this list?
Well, I think a pretty obvious one and something that I tend to do frequently is a Florida trip. And the reason why is, I mean, we got there's 2 coasters that are opening up. Well, 3 really. 2, I'd say quality coasters opening up. One, we're there. When in Rome, I'll
One
do it.
credit.
Yeah, 1 credit.
We'll pay the
That is
SeaWorld
opening
ticket.
up. Yeah, and especially if you go fall time, we could do food and wine in there. Just make a whole trip out of it. You could get Slinky Dog maybe, and maybe even do Rise of Resistance and stuff like that. So I think in a Florida trip, we definitely hit up Universal Studios. We could maybe do HHN
Absolutely.
right at that
Ooh,
point if they do have it. If we hit that seasonal point, so again, Halloween Horror Nights, Velocicoaster, bam, right there. And you need
that's a good day.
Hagrid's. You
I
still
need
need
Hagrid's.
Hagrid's too.
I haven't been in a while.
Exactly. So yeah, you there's 2 credits right there. 2 gonna be awesome credits. Hagrid's is amazing. Velocicoaster is gonna be even better, hands down.
Gosh, I forgot that those 2 are actually in the same park too.
Yeah, they are.
Like that's
Yeah,
like Islands of Adventure has stepped up. I think
yeah.
they
So
realize like Universal Florida is quite a bit better. We need to put some coasters in.
well, I mean, it used to be Islands of Adventure was the hot spot. Like when they
Mm.
opened up Wizarding World of Hogsmeade, it was like packed there in a ghost town in Universal Studios, Florida. Then they started adding some stuff there, and then Diagon Alley really took it up to the next level. So now they're kind of putting more love back in Islands. I think it's just gonna over the years, it's
Back
gonna
and
trade
forth.
back and forth until they also do their third gate or third theme park gate,
Mm-hmm.
which would be Epic Universe one day. But yeah,
One
that'd be a
day.
whole nother trip we'd have to plan. We'll talk about on the podcast whenever they open that up. But yeah, so I obviously do Universal, especially for Velocicoaster. And so you get Hagrid's on there. And if we plan it just right and do an HHN, why not?
Why not?
We love HHN.
Gosh, that
Um,
would be a wildly good trip. That was high on my list too. I think fall is always the right time to go. I think that's going to be, I think it's going to I really do think it'll be safe to travel again in fall. Like I won't
yeah,
have to like work from home for 2 weeks when I come back. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is like a policy right now for us. So that would be dope. And my wife's best friend lives in Florida near Tampa. So going to ride Iron Gwazi,
Yep,
when
we'll
in
definitely hit up
Rome,
Busch Gardens and hit up Iron Gwazi.
which I
Since
love
we're
that
down
park to
there,
begin
yeah.
with. I haven't been to that park since. Well, we were gonna go during a hurricane. Was it Matthew?
Yeah, I think it was
I think
Matthew. Yeah.
that's one of the days that got cut. So
Yeah, and I think I maybe went one other time since that trip, and that was years ago. And then since we're there, we might as well do SeaWorld and do
yeah,
Icebreaker.
gotta hit it.
Since get the credit, and you have Mako, right? Or no?
I had Mako. Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty
we
sure
hit
you
it
have
during
Mako, but
IAPA, I think.
okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if you did or not, but Might as well ride that again too. It's a good coaster. So
Then, like, what parks would we go to? At Disney World. Sorry,
I mean, I think, yeah, I mean that is a
Hollywood
lot in
Studios for
there.
sure. I haven't
Yeah,
seen Hollywood Studios open. Like last time I
yeah,
went, it was a half day park. It was half a park.
yeah. Now
Runaway
we could do
Railway,
a
Toy Story Land. I haven't seen, and then
Galaxy's Edge, but you
uh,
like you got to do Rise of Resistance, even though you don't like Star
I'll
Wars.
I'll try to ride Rise of the Resistance. But if we don't get the reservation, I don't think I'm gonna be pissed.
True. Okay, I will be a little pissed because it's so good of a ride, even though I've
I
already been on it.
I will
Um,
acknowledge that it is a good ride, and it's probably the best dark ride in the world. But I don't love the story.
true, but
I just can't get excited about it
you
for
gotta
some
do it
reason.
just for the entire experience, like
Mm,
and it's not just the ride itself. The queue line and interactive stuff with that is also cool, and I would love to see future rides, no matter what the theming is,
mm,
to go into that.
that's
So yeah,
fair.
so I think we do a day at Universal, slash night at HHN, um, Busch Gardens one day, SeaWorld maybe, or maybe do
SeaWorld Fun Spot Day.
okay, yeah, SeaWorld Fun Spot, or maybe do SeaWorld Epcot in the evening, maybe. But either
Mm.
I think Fun Spot will probably be
Ooh,
more
that would be
fun.
good because I do want to ride. I want to ride Ratatouille. I want to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
True. And we could actually scratch that. SeaWorld Fun Spot, and we could probably do Hollywood Studios in the morning,
Mm,
knock out almost everything,
Park
hit
Hopper. Yeah,
oh, but they might not be
they are
depends if they're
already.
doing park. Oh, they are? Okay, I didn't know that. So
It's
interesting.
back. It's
Mm,
it has some restrictions. I don't know what those are, but
yeah.
park hopping is back.
Yeah. Maybe do Hollywood Studios during the bulk of the day, go over to Epcot, do Ratatouille, and just
Hmm.
enjoy some adult beverages.
And then I want to go to Animal Kingdom at night. It's a weird thing for me. I haven't
It's gonna
seen
be
it
a
at night.
long trip, but yeah, we could definitely make it
This is going
happen.
to be a
So,
long trip, and like, do we want to do Mickey's Not So Scary? Oh my god, did we just go to all the Disney World parks?
I think we just did.
I
We
think
just
we
literally
did.
went to every park in Orlando. Literally, we just
We
like
might have to make some cuts.
the only thing we're missing is like Volcano Bay and like some
Yeah.
small little water parks and stuff, and one of the fun spots because we're not going to go to the one. We're not going to fun spot.
No, we don't need to ride Mind Blower
Yeah, we don't
again.
need my mind blower.
Don't try to convince us that that is a good ride.
Yeah,
Okay.
so honestly, that would be a fun trip, but a very exhausting trip. So I think we definitely need to maybe prioritize what we want to do so we don't have to take a vacation once we come home from the trip. So
And like we're seeing my wife's best friend, so I want to spend time with her.
true. And I want to see some of my friends and the VB people too. So, we'd be doing that thing. And last time we did a trip down in Orlando, you and I were not functioning at 100% each morning because of
We had
all
too
the
many
fun,
beers.
way too many beers. And I
We
could see
had
that
how
happening
many
again.
Yinglings did we drink?
Too many.
Way too like
I didn't drink England again until 2020. And I was like, what, 2018 is when we went on that trip.
I remember when we just didn't get the Slinky Dog Dash coaster because we were hungover. We had
Yeah,
free tickets to Disney World and
we
didn't
had
use them.
free tickets to go to Hollywood Studios, and this was before Galaxy's Edge, but still, Toy Story Land was open, and Slinky Dog, and we both need the credit at the time,
Ugh,
and we decided to not go to that park, decline the tickets, so we could sleep in and watch
the blind side.
Blindside in our hotel room while the hotel maids kept coming in, shocked that we were still in our room
They're
because they
like, "Hey,
used
let us
to,
come clean." We're like, we had the do not disturb sign on. Why are you
yeah,
breaking into our
they literally opened the door like 4 times while we were asleep. And granted, it was like 9 a.m., but still, it's like this do not disturb. And they just thought we were just at the parks. We're like, no,
Everyone
we
else
should be at
is.
the parks, but we're not. And we just gave up free tickets. So,
Well, that is a fantastic choice, by the way. I think
yes.
I think a theme for me is go to places you enjoy in 2021. For me, it's not so much new places. Like
Hmm.
I'm not really up for a huge credit grab. Like I don't want to chase my 500th coaster this year and try to get like 70 coasters in. Like I just want to go to places that I know I love and like just get me back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
one of my most favorite trip, the one that I want to do the most is so a little bit of a backstory here. My wife is obsessed with watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team. And she wants to go see a Dallas Cowboys game just to watch the cheerleaders. And I want to go to a Dallas Cowboys game. I just want to go. I want to go into the stadium and I want to check it out. So I was just thinking, like, can we figure out a time where it matches up perfectly, where they play like a Thursday night game or maybe even Thanksgiving? Because aren't the Cowboys one of the Thanksgiving teams?
They usually are, yeah.
So if they had a
I think they
home
usually
game,
play the Lion. No, they
the
play some
Lions
team.
play. I don't think
Yeah, and the Cowboys play. I know that they're usually the
they're
two
the two.
Thanksgiving teams. Yeah.
But if we went to a game on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe stretch it into, you know, the week or whatever. But I want to see the holiday events in Texas. So I want to go to like Six Flags Over Texas. I want to go to San Antonio and like maybe credit grab in Houston.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do it. It doesn't even have to be the Thanksgiving game. Like we could still it could still be a Sunday game. You just have to
Yeah.
like reorganize the trip where you could maybe do. I know it's kind of tough because that's some prime theme park time
Yeah.
for holiday events, especially because they're usually on weekend operation.
But I
But
could deal with like a Six
but
Flags park I've already been to on a
Six
Saturday.
Flags over Texas is right next to the stadium. So after the game, you can just go right into the park. So
If it's
and
like a noon game, yeah, and they
yeah,
have a late night, like
yeah, with the lights and everything,
grab a
that
few
should be
credits, get
pretty.
new Texas Giant, and that's about all you need.
Yeah, so it seems like it'd be pretty. That'd be pretty doable on a Sunday in Arlington. So
Yeah.
and then the other two, Fiesta Texas and did you
SeaWorld.
mention Frontier City maybe like on the way down there?
Honestly, if we drove and we have a very fun connection there, a really good friend of ours that works at the park, it would be great to see him as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then, but San Antonio too. We think about like new
I didn't even think
credits.
about San Antonio. You said Houston. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
but
not the
but like
same spot.
Fiesta Texas has two new RMCs since we've last been there.
True.
And then SeaWorld they have their new GCI. They have
And
I
we
think it's a
still don't
Wave
have Steel
Breaker.
Eel, so
We don't, yeah, and technically the water coaster, we could get 4 credits at that park,
oh
which is
yeah,
hilarious because
Journey
we
to
only rode
Atlantis,
3.
JTA.
Yeah, and then going to Houston maybe that's like getting a few extra credits with Boardwalk Bullet and their Eurofighter. I forget something shark themed. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Great White.
yeah, I think no, that's the invert in
Yeah,
San
yeah, yeah.
Antonio.
We've been on that.
Iron Shark, maybe I think.
Okay.
Iron Shark, is that right? I feel like I'm saying Iron Chef.
What park are we talking about? Sorry, I just drew a big blank.
This is just like a pier. I don't even
Okay, yeah,
remember the name
I
of it.
don't know off the top of my head. So
Galveston's Pier, Pleasure Pier,
yeah,
something like that. But that would be a very fun trip.
yeah, that would be probably pretty difficult to get all that in one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to look at operating
Schedules,
and see
that's why I
what.
was saying the Thursday of like a Cowboys game. Then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. It'll
We'd
also
have
be
to probably
difficult
cut
for.
something.
Yeah, it'd be difficult also for driving because, like, I'm sure
Mhm.
they're not gonna be open all day on Friday, so probably Friday night. Then do we drive that night or do we drive in the morning?
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be. But I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure we could figure it out some way or the other.
I think it's doable.
Yeah, it probably
And
is.
I think maybe like the piers in Houston, like maybe they are open on Mondays for some reason. You never know. So it's something to look at, I would say.
Well, I know one thing. I got plenty of vacation time, so
I've
I
banked them
got
up.
like I got 4 weeks saved up right now. Yeah,
I don't
it's
have that much, but
stupid ridiculous, and that's not even counting what I'm gonna be accruing as we
mm.
get closer to these trips. So I got I got that PTO.
I was just thinking it could be the parks would be busy, but it would be a really fun Thanksgiving trip this year, as we generally sneak away on Thanksgiving anyway. Um, but also one thing I do want to bring up about that trip is you would have the holiday events. So I saw an in the loop video of Six Flags Over Texas. The park was like empty, and they had all these extra like food booths where they basically brought in the Texas Fair, the state fair, all those
Oh
booths,
shoot.
and that was like part of their food offering.
So they
And
were
they had
like fried
sampling
Oreos
and
and
yeah,
stuff,
just
and
like and
damn,
like awesome beer. They had like a funnel cake beer and just like these obscure like local beers.
like
So
a
it's
night,
just like
like a stout, like kind of a
it was probably a shitty beer, but I want to try
yeah. That's
it,
probably
right?
yeah. I
It's not
mean,
good.
when in Texas.
And just to see like two other Holiday in the Park events that are probably strong, like they're probably like top tier events, I want to do that. And
Yeah, no,
SeaWorld, I feel like SeaWorld probably also does a solid event. So
that's a good idea. Yeah, I think that'll be that's a good trip lineup.
yeah, and it
I
would
think.
be late in the year, so it's like a better chance of it happening.
hmm
So
I think a simple trip that you could do really any time of the year, probably more summer. We talked about this, and this is just it's not even I guess this doesn't even count as a trip. It's more of a day trip. It's just go up to Adventureland up
yeah,
in Iowa and just kind of I think we could probably do that this summer, obviously depending on COVID and um, see how things are going at that point. See what kind of restrictions are out there, and hopefully at that point we do have vaccines. If
yeah,
but even if we don't, it might be still a possibility in there if we do it right. But
yeah.
because but we can
See,
always play it by ear.
what's hard for me on that trip is 2022 is going to be the weirdest monster year for Iowa. You have an entire new theme park opening, which is like it's Waterloo, I think. It's I don't even know the name of it, but there was like an accelerator coaster that used to operate in Europe. And
Yeah.
this park bought it like 2 or 3 years ago and just like we're gonna put this shit into our new theme park. I think it's Canonin. It's pronounced funny, but we've got that, and they've got a few new credits coming in. So like hit that, hit Adventureland, and then there's a new credit. We could go to Arnold's Park, and then in South Dakota, that RMC single rail. I don't think it's going to open this year, but in 2022, it's probably in.
True.
That's a monster trip. And then
So it
you
probably
could
makes
loop it
sense
up
just to
with
wait.
yeah, you could loop it up with the Valley Fair, Mall of America, like make it a loop. Just doable. Wisconsin, it's the possibilities in 2022. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I'm still down for that day trip to Adventureland. It's so
Yeah,
easy to do.
yeah, not just a day trip, but yeah, I think adding that on or even waiting,
Mhm.
that sounds like a badass idea, and that'd be super simple for us, especially being out of Kansas City for 2022.
Or 2022 could be a go to Waterloo, loop up through Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then hit the Iowa stuff on the way down.
True,
Like
true.
it's doable.
I'll say another one just to revisit it, but I doubt this would happen. Is I still want to get out to San Francisco and do those
Mm-hmm.
parks out there, but I highly doubt it's going to happen in 2021, especially with California and everything and the
It's
timing too. Especially if we're not going to be able to do too many trips if we're going to really focus on that fall holiday season. So, but that would be I don't want to forget about that. We need to get out there
yeah,
one day, even if it's
it's
not this year coming up.
it's so tough, and
Yeah,
like it's impossible to put in 2021 any California park and bank on it. And that's
yeah,
so sad to think about because I want to go to Disneyland again too. I want to hit the
yeah.
San Diego parks. It's tough. And then one thing I secretly want to do still is I want to do like a long weekend of just going to Knoebels, Hershey Park, and like something around it, maybe. I miss those parks so much. And like
Yeah.
2021, if I'm gonna start traveling again, like I want to go to two of my favorite theme parks in Knoebels and Hershey Park. So I've got to throw that on the list too.
Those would be brand new credits for me.
Mm-hmm. And two very sexy parks.
And I should get my I'm pretty sure I'll get it unless I don't go anywhere. My 300th coaster this year.
Mm. Yeah,
I'm
you should.
two away, two away.
You'll get it next year for sure.
Yeah. You mean
You
this
have
year?
to.
You mean this year?
Sorry, I just thought this was 2020 part two.
It
That's what it feels like. Uh,
does.
but those are like my main trips. Did you have any more?
Those are really the main ones. Kind of like you, like I don't know if I want to venture somewhere new that I haven't been, minus like the ones you mentioned, I think those, I haven't been to the Pennsylvania ones, those Pennsylvania ones.
Yeah.
So that would be new, but like, I kind of want my first experience to be something where it's gonna, everything's gonna be open, everything's gonna be kind of running as it should.
Yeah.
And who knows, we might get that this year, after things settle down and vaccines go out. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. So I rather go to things that I know, and especially like, I know Florida very well. you know, there's a
Yeah.
great lineup there. Been to the Texas parks, so I kind of know what to expect there. So, I kind of like the idea as well.
By the way, if we go back to Orlando, like I want to take my wife to every park. So I think that's a big part of like why I want to go to every fucking park in Orlando again.
Yeah, and we might, I mean, might as well. So,
Why are you there?
hopefully, like we could, hopefully Disney's now in like main gates again. We could find some people that work there, so we don't have to pay for every park. So,
Yeah, that would be
but
fantastic.
yeah, that would be fantastic.
Time to start messaging our friends that we don't work there.